welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. This broadcast of MLS on Apple TV is brought to you by T-Mobile. As tonight in the ATL, these fans are hoping to see a win for the first time since March 29th. The pressure mounting on Riley Dial and his team to not just win, but play some good football in the process. Philadelphia entered this game off yet another win in midweek, albeit in a different way, coming back from 2-0 down against the Galaxy midweek to win by 3-2 as welcoming inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium alongside Roy Lindsay. My name is Chris Williams. Get into the starting 11 for both sides. Starting first with the home side, Atlanta United, making 5 changes from the team that played in midweek away in Austin, but maintaining that 3 direction.
And the formation change has given them a bit more defensive stability, but now they need to start using that to their advantage in the attack. The 2 wing backs of Amador and Lennon, they're going to be key in helping out defensively, but also joining into the attack at the right moment. But up top, the responsibility really does lie with Alvaro. He's creating chances, not converting them. They need to change that tonight if they want to turn their season around.
Headline maker on the bench is Emmanuel Latte Lux. He might come on in the second half. And a similar story for Philadelphia. 5 changes for midweek for the game against the Galaxy. No time for Rebo, the Golden Boot leader up front.
It is all about a fast start tonight, not taking this Atlanta team for granted. Have to be disciplined with the positioning defensively in order to limit Atlanta's attacks, but also to allow the front four to thrive even more specifically. Rebo, who they've punished teams all season long. Getting on the end of chances is going to be key tonight.
As you get now to the players who are presented by RBC Wealth Management, the partner of Major League Soccer focusing on the men up front. Starting first with Jamal Chale.
Chale hasn't played a ton of minutes this season, but he's always a handful when he does come in the game. His best position is center forward, where he causes problems for the opposition's back line and get on the end of service. He had the tying goal against Austin last game, and because of that, he's rewarded with a start tonight. They need him to be a constant outlet throughout the game. And just for Philadelphia, regardless if he's starting or coming off the bench, he's always an important striker for Philadelphia. He's a willing runner, the one stretching the game, driving the opposition back with 2 goals, 3 assists on the season so far. And Rebo not in the starting lineup, he has to be the focal point in the attack.
And those were the players to watch presented by RBC Wealth Management, proud partner of Major League Soccer. In 2 teams on opposite sides of the form god and thus in the Eastern Conference standings. Second place Philly visits 13th place Atlanta. Kickoff is on the way on the MLS Season Pass on Apple TV.
Welcome to this year's championship game. This is the big one.
With MS Gold, from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, you can score 4 times points on restaurants around the world. So you can raise the bar on games. That's the powerful backing on American Express.
Fun season. Analyze the next goal.
Jameson, famously smooth whiskey and a famously big family. So big that Jose here could be one of us. You see, he's nearly as smooth as our whiskey. For him, long turns usually turn out all right. Even when he shows up uninvited, he's never empty-handed. He only ever drinks smooth Jameson whiskey. Surely he must be part of the family. Must be a Jameson.
Before creating canvas, the youth coaches were taught them, the trainers made them strong. Just like we have yours, and you have theirs, because we take care of our IBX.com.
For the brace. Oh,
Nobody gives a shit about Messi.
To Los Angeles. Laid out for Ramirez. Slips it through Marco.
Yeah, they're telling me why they have 0 wins. Shut the hell up.
At RBC Wealth Management, we know you have ideas for your future. Ideas that can have you taking more time off or putting more time in. They could mean more peace and quiet or more fun and games. Ideas you can drive or that drive you. From settling in to living it up. What ideas will you bring to life? Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Still going on with that?
Just ask my sister if she come on this one. We're looking for the Phantom of Youth.
More there than that.
But if they want what we want,
Even you why.
very serious.
Could you go to
Very serious.
What's going on, man?
It's LA Galaxy. LAFC in a matchup that's produced over 4 goals a game. On DraftKings Sportsbook, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Just download the app and use promo code STRIKER when you sign up.
This is the win probability ahead of kickoff.
What?
Atlanta.
44.1% for Atlanta? DraftKings, you're out of your fucking mind, bro. Fuck out of here. That's why I don't bet no more, because of that shit. They think they control the sports world, but they don't control shit.
This one is the matchday referee, Chris Henso. This is by Kyle Smith and Brian Marshall. And in case any decisions require further examination in the North Texas VAR room, Eunice Marachi is in charge of proceedings. Atlanta United returning home after a midweek trip where they got a late equalizer against Austin FC, but trying to get a victory for the first time in more than a month. Rakuzan has come up with big saves in big moments, but still has only kept 1 clean sheet this season from 13 games, conceded 23 goals. Have Atlanta United, Philadelphia, very much improving defensively and continuing to get a flurry of goals from 2-0 down to win by 3-2 last time out against LA Galaxy. Ty Baribo scoring twice, his 9th and 10th goals of the season. However, he does find himself on the bench tonight. Both sides rotating this week with a 3-match week playing on a Wednesday night. Philadelphia at home, Atlanta in Austin, but with just a 2 days rest, both sides electing to make the 5 changes. And Bruno Damiani will be part of the side that is asked to lead the line tonight and create chances when the top goal scorer is on the bench. Damiani, the club record signing, joining from ahead of the season. When we start football, his native Uruguay. Nationals are underway. For Mercedes-Benz Stadium as Atlanta look to snap their winless run as they host Philadelphia Union. Philadelphia straightaway going forward and quickly with the offside flag coming up against Mikel Ua. Atlanta, a point in midweek, but need to get some victories on the board. This is a side with big expectations coming into the season. Making their record signing Emmanuel Lapton, Milan Midon, Alexi Menacho, big expenditures. But to really turn that into a high level of form. They are playing in a new system out of the back three. It's going to come highly on this left side. Albion joining on the overlap. Going towards Chai. Towards Gilliland. Easy work there for Andrew Rick, but Atlanta turned to play with purpose and quickly.
And positive start, and they would have gotten some confidence with that late goal midweek against Austin. Something they talked about coming into this game. Confidence, but also back home in front of their home fans. They have to use that to their advantage. They're creating chances, but now they have to take a step further and start to convert them. Amaral is going to be key into the attack. When to settle things, when to play with a bit more urgency. And then the other side for Philadelphia, starting this game strong. A lot of rotation for both of these teams, but for Philadelphia in great form, have to find that cohesion early on in this game and play the style that they usually do, which is sitting players forward on the front foot and making life difficult on that back line for Atlanta tonight.
Effective flick on there from Chris Donovan. He's one of those players into the starting 11 tonight, cleared to safety from Derek Williams. Philadelphia have to find new ways to create goals tonight. Quinn Sullivan, their top assist provider, with 7. He's on the bench. Tamarino, the top goal scorer on the bench, as well as 2 bites of the apple there for Brooks Lennon. And they want to hear from Jesus Bueno. So his second start of the season as Wagner delivers. And it could come into the area here. And on the turn there's Damiani. And Guzan replies with a fantastic save. Not the kind of spaces that Atlanta want to be affording early.
What a wonderful save that is from Guzan. Almost isn't just late, but it's a brilliant ball in from Wagner. Does such a good job.
As this exclusive Netcam replay is brought to you by T-Mobile, and you can see amazing work there from Guzan.
We'll start with that ball in from Wagner. Is whipping it in. Good first touch. It spins around. Last second, Guzan sees it, pushes it wide. That's a start though. That's Philadelphia is looking for.
Terrific number 10 ball, and whips across it in with a real chance in the heart of that area was Nathan Harriel, who would come forward for the corner and directs his header over the bar. Let's take a look again at this save here and the incredible response. That's a full stretch there.
An excellent and good, great first touch from Damiani. He didn't get his body turned to be able to keep it on frame. But last second, just a push off from Guzan. One-handed save. Push it wide as well. But just looking at the setup for the Philadelphia Union, one of the reasons that ball was whipped in from deep from Wagner, it does look like they're playing in the 3-back, almost to match Atlanta United tonight. Westwood will shift over. Westfield, will shift over to his left-hand side. Wagner, Ghana, and Harriel will round out the back 3 for Philadelphia Union.
Always making the run, but covered there by Bueno. Amador has a chance, but does win the throw. It's interesting, Laura. You heard some suggestions in the build-up to the game that there might be a system change for Philadelphia, but you're right. It does look like 3/5 at the back, almost matching systems with Atlanta. You surprised by the change?
I'm a bit surprised, just given how committed they've been to the way that they want to play that 4-2-2-2 box in the midfield, high pressing, getting numbers forward. And also with the amount of changes they made for this game. But with games in quick succession, not surprising. I feel like Bradley Cornell feels like that's a heavy challenge on Wagner on this near side.
He's been left there on Kai Wagner, who was trying to clear. He's Albion. We got a piece there.
Which is that big touch at first, and then the follow through, it looks like from Wagner. Down Harmon's come through. But it's going to be interesting, particularly with Wagner, one of the players that will get forward, creating the attack. A lot of the attack comes on the left-hand side for Philadelphia, but he's going to stay home, and you wonder if that's a bit of a formation change just to preserve some legs as well. A lot of minutes for Wagner this season so far, and with those games, as I mentioned, quick succession, have to find ways to preserve energy.
It is Makanya who will anchor that back 3. It's over the free kick for the moment, but we'll leave it for Andrew Rick, who's already starting his 5th game of the season, continues to deputize for Andre Blake, the multiple times MLS goalkeeper of the year. Ronnie Dyla stood in the dugout for Atlanta United, taking over ahead of this season. Former MLS Cup winner with New York City. Trying to really find that start. It was a similarly rocky start for him in New York, but eventually found their way and tried to do the same here as Almiron with the heavy touch, but we'll get to it. I lift into that area, and it comes from Lennon. Soft touch in towards Fortune, and eventually lifted away. Needed work there from Bueno. There's just a different purpose about his running. Ua has to control here by the touchline.
That's right. He's going to get a really run of the He's always looking to stretch his hips Westfield. But what's interesting about this matchup right now, Chris, is just how Philadelphia Union defend those wingbacks for Atlanta United. Because Atlanta United's going to sit Lennon on this near side, Amador on that far side forward. Lukic is playing on the right side. Typically, he's a center midfielder. So how does he deal with Amador getting high and wide and do a lot of running?
First time away there from Macron. So familiar with the way Philadelphia tackle their usual setup. We'll see if the different angles can create new looks. This Damiani harried there by Alexei Miranchuk, former Atalanta player. Amador. So two different spells out with injury. Pedro Amador. With hamstring and groin injuries. Frustration in Atlanta camp that players in and out of the team, they feel like they've got their full complement other than Stian Gregerson for this game, but still making some changes and beyond. Combined there, Miranchuk able to control. Throw into the five stripes of Atlanta United. Whereas Bradley Carnell, who once again is up to a very good start. Similarly good start with St. Louis City in round two, taking the expansion side to a first place finish in the Western Conference 2 seasons ago. To have gotten his Philly side going, and even after losing key player Daniel Gastag, who goes to Columbus Crew, and since then they've continued winning games and implementing their style and their identity. Miranchuk can fit in the window.
Yeah, it's early stages of this game, but it already looks like it has a huge challenge from Bueno. But it already looks like Philadelphia Union's just going to be content sitting back, conceding some of the space, and forcing Atlanta to have the majority of possession. And as soon as they win it, look for Ua up top and behind.
It was the other way, but it's a bit awkward there for Bueno, you must say.
It's good positioning initially from Bueno. Pick up that ball, but Miranchuk in a good position to win it back. Big tackle from Bueno.
Matt Edwards. Three young players trusted by Ronnie Dyla. Either at right back or at the right side of back three. Jay Fortune. Not the idea, but a bit too much pace on it. Trickling away on the turn, but it did deflect on its way out. It will be a corner to Atlanta.
I love that positioning from Fortune, because if they can get on the outside of Bedoya, Bueno, the two holding mids for Philadelphia, that's where they're going to have a lot of success. Then you can start to combine in those wide areas. That's what's going to force Lukic and even Westfield to have to get their timing right defensively.
Here's Alexei Miranchuk. 16 for that penalty area. Lofted in and a thumping hitter away from Oluwafu Makanya. Played all last season with the first team. Trusted by fellow South African Bradley Carnell. Fortune down the line. Look at the beating there. Well defended by Chris Donovan, who emerges but couldn't squeeze it beyond Amador. This is the second meeting between these two sides, having already played less than a month ago in Philadelphia, a game that the Union absolutely dominated from start to finish. And Sullivan, Kelly shot, Todd Rudiger on the score sheet of the day. They're looking to do the double. A lot of defending early. Amador controlling. And lifting it up, steps high, which will go on shot by Kai Wagner. Executing a different role here tonight as Almiron can get turned. And Levo Brooks Lennon Struck it well, but always rising over that bar.
Already a very different game than the game a month ago that you were just referencing, Chris. Philadelphia Union pinned back. A little bit out of sorts defensively, chasing shadows right now, and the wide areas have been favorable for Atlanta United. That's a lovely little layoff. Looked like Cameron was going to go south. Instead, just sees a little touch backwards. That one's always rising, but it's been good so far. Sharp for Atlanta United for their home fans.
There's no better way to follow MLS this season than MLS 360. MLS 360 has you covered with every goal, every storyline from every game. Join Kevin Egan and the crew live right now so you don't miss a moment of the action. So much to cover tonight as part of MLS Rivalry Week. Hell is real derby tonight between Cincinnati and Columbus. A stadium matchup between Portland and Seattle later. And the goals as they go in from around MLS. Breaking lines well. Fortune behind Amador, but does well to control. And kept as well by Johnny Fortune. Edwards hitting the channels towards China and neatly controlled. Lennon. Getting an initial touch on it, but now Damiani to control it.
A few positive touches from Charlie, and that's why they bring him in, because he's excellent getting on the end of service, but always looking to get in behind the back line. A little ball initially. Good position for Philadelphia Union to be able to pick it off. And now we're starting to see if Philadelphia can create a little bit of possession themselves, because they've been defending the majority of this first part of this game. One really quality chance, big save from Kuzan, but outside of that, deep in their own half defensively.
They're surrounded. Edwards getting stuck in. Neat bit of skill to get into the field of Bianchuk. Fans on this near side appreciating the effort of Matt Edwards. Captain last season of the MLS Next Pro side in Atlanta. With the academy before playing some college soccer at the University of North Carolina. Now back in the first team. Bianchuk lifting in behind and Cheyenne again getting beyond the Kanya. At the corner, the lock the turn. It's going to be the obvious passing option. It's with Almiron. Bob, didn't quite get it back to Almiron. Edwards, great step there.
Really good shape behind the ball to win it back immediately. We've seen that a few times from Atlanta United. But there is more of a sense of urgency with what they're playing with right now. That was the key coming into this game. At times, it's felt throughout this season too slow once they get into the attack. Marinchuk and Malone at times picking up the same positions. Already having some success with some combination play.
Much sharper in possession here from Atlanta. Playing through and around the shape. Abraham, unfortunate to Almiron. Buzzing through that middle. Play the role of playmaker as neat combination play with Amador, but committing and sliding in. Goal one there by Harriel. And the free kick eventually given there is chipped up was Donovan. Beg your pardon, it was Damiani who was big there.
And part of the issue right now for Philadelphia Union, we talked about Uwan being the one that's going to look to be direct, playing behind. But now, if you really have that outlet, that's going to have to be a constant opportunity.
Player Spotlight is presented by Allstate. You are in good hands. And Miguel Almiron has been tried in a variety of areas. Where do you see him eventually developing into returning that form that he was so good with 2 or 6 seasons ago now in Major League Soccer?
Well,
There's play going on, and they wanted to do this guy. Let's go.
Philadelphia Union more centrally. We've seen him get wider at times.
I don't want to miss any of the game, bro. And you're all fucking focused on one dude.
Benefit him the most, but he also is going to have a free roll to be able to drift out wide at necessary times. But keeping him central initially allows him to have a reference point to play off of.
Alejandro Bedoya making a run in behind, but just overhit there from Nathan Harriel. Just that increase in pace, playing those passes on this artificial surface. Just rolls that little bit quicker. Fortune So directed towards Almiron. Tries to get that head of Rick, but well tracked there by the 19-year-old.
And that's a relationship that they can have, Almiron and Ture. If one's coming deep, the other then can get in behind, and it's a lovely little run for Almiron. He sees where the space is. That's so difficult to defend because you're having to track, especially in some of these new positions, the formation change for Philadelphia Union. So the conversation has to be spot on in terms of who's tracking, who's picking up. Look up for Rick to come off his line, stay connected to the back line.
Move on. Couldn't quite catch it. Kusan watches it go over. Decent strike coming forward from right wing back. Normally in midfield, you about Lukic, but tries his luck from the center of the park.
He won't be afraid to drift inside. Shoot from distance either. We've seen a few goals from him outside the penalty spot. He has time and space. Not afraid to let one loose.
Well played into the Donchuk. Roll into the path of Brooks. Let him lift it in. Shot at once, and he was measuring it overhead. But
No.
deflected once and twice on its way through. But a decent strike from the Portuguese winger. Out for the corner to Atlanta.
Well, they're doing such a good job of overloading in the box, especially when they get into the right areas. And this is what the formation will allow. If you get your wing back scored, it allows for the time, the space to develop. Almiron stays out of it initially, just allows it to come on to himself and takes it so well. We see 2 big saves in this game already. He's on one end, and then Rick on that one, the last.
Terrific save there from Andrew Rick, he must say. A homegrown goalkeeper into the academy. It's interesting, last season, Andre Blake missed games. Philadelphia Union really suffered. He missed 20 games in total with a variety of injuries. Andre Blake, and Philadelphia only won 4 of those 20. While he missed out this season with Rick and goal, they've gained 7 points from 4 games. Same drop off. Rick, of course, that bit more experience. 19 years old, one of the very best in Major League Soccer. Edwards again in the way.
Oh, Billy, you, the golden blue. Now let us sing a song for you. Sha la la la. Sha la la la. Ah! Sha la la la. Oh, Billy, you, the golden blue. Now let us sing a song for you. Sha la la la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
There's going to be a set
Oh,
for
Billy, you.
potentially Lennon.
Now let us sing a song for you. Sha la la la.
Awkward feeling there for Lennon. Didn't really see him go down, showing any real signs of pain.
Dig a hole and bury him.
It does look like Salvador Janitze is getting ready to enter. Miguel Almiron, Diallo, figuring out where the traffic is meant to go. If Lennon were to come off. And Glory, if this change is to come into effect, which we are told it will, as Janitze is stripped and ready to go. Does seem like you would think with a winger coming on for a defender that maybe we see a formation change here?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they do switch, because right now they've been on the front foot, dominating possession, the better the chances. I actually think they're going to stick with the way that they're playing. Just going to need to make sure that Edwards, one of the 3 center backs, comes over and helps support Janitze. Because one thing that we do know about Lennon is, yes, he's a right back, but he likes to attack more often than not. He's getting higher up the field. That's the primary position of Janitze.
We're getting a look here at the whole pitch, and it doesn't seem as though there's any tactical switch here. So Janitze will get up and down that right side as we throw into Atlanta. So we're less than 20 minutes into the game, and we've had our first substitution. There is Salvador Janitze. He's had 4 assists in the team. Good to score this season. The Atlanta fans do love a bit of summertime. Those energy players that sites this corner space is out the off good control. That ball fizzed into it from Abram. Controlling it, lifted forward, and well done there from Wagner. The touchdown heavy from Lukic.
And just look at that position once again. And this is going to be a real great thing because this is the setup right now for Atlanta United. Why I would have been surprised if they switch with Coach Janitza coming in. Because they always have coverage. They're denying Philadelphia the ability to break out. And just going back to the previous point about the possession discrepancy. Yes, Philadelphia is accustomed to not having the majority of possession. There's a huge tackle right there coming through from Bedoya. But this is how the game feels like it's going right now. Is Philadelphia is coming in with tackles, trying to stall any sort of play because they're late to the challenges. But the difference with Philadelphia right now is they're typically used to playing in their attacking half. They've been pinned back. There's no real outlet. And Atlanta United would be happy to keep the majority of possession, find the wide areas, and look to see if they can whip those in, as we've seen so far.
Abram. Fortune going out wide. Meeting in the build-up, Matt Edwards was leaping in the air, trying to call for the ball to be switched towards him. Not essentially, but controlled here by Bruno Damiani. One of the most technically gifted of those forward players. Archer got a piece, but Philadelphia retaining possession through aerial.
Edwards just went out. That ball should have gone to him to give them a little bit more time and space instead of forcing to Archer and just turned over in favor of Philadelphia.
Westfield losing it. So just looking at bit sharper on the ball. Avoiding that early chance from Damiani. Just well saved from Buzan, but otherwise, some sharp defending. Edwards. Some runs ahead of him, but needs to find an outlet there so without me going. No Janitza. That early cross, it deflects off Wagner, just lift further away. Bit of a shuffle to back there from Edwards, and a free kick given. Atlanta United next in action as they take on FC Cincinnati next Sunday from 7 p.m. An interesting one, Cincinnati on a terrific run forward playing in that derby match tonight against Columbus Crew. Leading away from home by a goal to are Cincinnati through Kevin Denke. The team is really starting to round into form. All their best players available, and we'll be inside the visits here next. Look at the table coming into tonight. Those are the top two sides coming to Mercedes-Benz Stadium over the course of tonight and next Sunday. Sam lifting forward. Amador will get inside of Bedoya. Who's there? And Chale went for it. Ronnie there was way on. Free kick given. Bueno really selling that contact there. Steven Hughes hit.
Well, initially, just looked like two players coming together. Yeah, Chare gets the better of them, but not so much in that from Chare. Loose ball, and Chare's coming through as well. Both have the ability to go for that ball. This is a big touch from Bueno in the end.
They go in towards Uwa, couldn't. That's under a spell. Covered there by Lukic. Put better over the second balls and those duels that really love to create. Westfield's header in towards that area. It's an easy play for Busan. Will go quickly and spray that ball forward. Could be a high bounce for Cheyenne, but well managed there defensively by Kai Wagner.
I think that was a concern for Philadelphia in this game because even though they're not picking up commitments consistently and putting full 90-minute performances together at Atlanta United, they have looked more dangerous in attacking transition.
Knocking it by Ruba. Almiron. The control away from the danger there is Kanye was bearing down, but comes calling for Lobjanitsa. Wants to go early, but not nearly enough to get in towards China and through the defenders. And another free kick given in.
Yeah, it's already initially from Lobjanitsa. Can't believe his luck fell, called for the foul. Glance over his shoulder, sees Chare make the run in behind. This under hit. And the only difference really between Lynn and Lobjanitsa, yes, Lobjanitsa out and out winger is going to create with him patrol on the right hand side. Really not going to be much difference. We just talked about Edwards going to have to shift over and help out defensively a bit more in the wide channel than maybe he prefers to as one of those three center backs.
There by Donovan and now Uwan. Beloya. Lukic. Some patient possession here from Philadelphia. Find ways to score. Our top two attackers on the pitch. Lukic has a chance to send that into that near post. There were shots were offside the whole way, but the flag never came. Bueno headed on towards that area. The danger in that attempt is Almiron will lift it away. Needed to be kept there by Wagner as the counter could have been on. Carriel. Playing there neatly as Beloya sends it forward. Bueno going through, winning it cleanly in the judgment of the referee. Miranchuk will lift it behind. It's a good idea. Almiron can play. They cut inside and still Almiron towards Ajay Thorson. It just wasn't the right touch at the final moment from Miguel Almiron, but promising signs on the break.
Which is unfortunate for Almiron because he's so brilliant at finding an open space. Immediately takes off, sees it. Miranchuk does as well, but then just right there, the ball gets held up. He has to take an extra touch and still allowing his momentum to take it forward. And then that allows for Philadelphia Union to get back numbers behind the ball. It's a little bit more predictable for themselves, but a wonderful run, good vision for Almiron. And that's something they're going to have to continue to look for, especially when they're hit back in. Second transition will be on.
Just down there from Donovan, but couldn't quite find the feet of Damiani. Abraham. William Bond. Atlanta won just 2 of their 7 matches here at home. They won 2 games all season. This is a place that used to be a fortress, one of the most difficult places to come. I want to make it similar again. The makings are here. Fortunate Amador with heels on the shot to the touchline, lifting that cross in and shot. Just wide of target. He thought he'd scored, but flashing just beyond that post.
Well, this is when they've been at their best, and Chare knows it. That has to be in the back of the net. Golden opportunity. So good at getting on the end of service. But look at this ball. Just finds himself free, just whips it in, and no one gets touched tight to Chare. Just rises above. My goodness, it doesn't miss by much. Just glances it past that far post, and there's a look of Almiron as well. Knows that was the opportunity.
Flip forward there from Miranchuk, but couldn't quite find Almiron.
And that's an area that they have to continue to look for because Almiron has been one of their best players. We talked about Lukic playing in that wide area, typically the defensive midfield, because here they come again.
Janitza will track this down. We'll settle here ahead of Wagner, puts a fantastic tackle in.
But at times, Lukic doesn't look the most comfortable in that wide area, so Amador's getting into more advanced positions.
Janitza running again at Wagner, and again the block in. This time it does go out for the corner. Wagner's a player we'll talk often about his attacking ability and the crosses he puts in, but showing he's a terrific defender tonight.
But number one defender especially is coming out, closing down the angles initially to not allow Janitza to even get a look up, try to serve that ball in, just shuts it down immediately.
And Jarick directing his areas. It's lifted into the head of Razan. Again, shot in. They will direct it towards Sargent. So a strong header in the air, but Senegalese striker for Atlanta is unable to find that back in the net tonight. So two fantastic saves in the game. Jarick, Amador, Zen, Damiani. Early opportunity for Cheyenne was spectacular. Just couldn't find that opening goal. That's what we'll feel. It is a just where Cousins under pressure there. Donovan applying that running. It's a good ball out there, you must say, from Cousins. Fortune.
You wonder how much, Chris, this is spread to come now, knowing that as they get deeper in the season, they have to find some different ways tactically to be able to adjust some of them, but also just when legs are tired. And this is a golden opportunity with the form that they've been in to switch to a three back, know that they can always rely on this, because one of the things that he told us coming into this game is now they know they're able to come back once they're down and fight, compete. 132 against LA Galaxy, but now they have a different formation that they can rely on. And yes, it does look very different than the typical Philadelphia Union we're used to seeing under Bradley Carnell, but they're sitting back and knowing a lot of opportunities and forcing Atlanta to have to really look for their opportunities.
Just about kept there from William Bob. Here's Edwards. It'll be useful for Carnell to gain that information you're talking about. Just about banging towards Fortune. A kind deflection in towards Milan Choku. Went early into Cheyenne. And Cheyenne's chasing down that loose ball, and Rick just about stopping that one away. Still on there, look, Janitza, lead on, gets a free kick awarded. I think Wagner saying that he won the ball. You learn the referee's signal for winning the ball. The ball to the hands going out.
This isn't the first time that he's been caught in some of these challenges. Then he gets some of the ball, but he also gets a lot of Almiron's leg.
Those two have become acquainted on an earlier high boot left in from Almiron earlier in the game. Right through that middle. Lima. Fortune. Looks steady in that midfield. Look, Janitza. We get beyond two, but presented it there to Bueno. Wagner. Okay, with Macania. Doesn't really have anywhere to go, but eventually finds the room with Bueno. Pressure nearly causing a problem, but not quite. Damiani grew up in control. It's all defensive work there for Atlanta. This is better for the Five Stripes. Coming on. Fortune. Right, his defense and still Fortune. And just going through at the end there is Wagner's colliding with everyone on this pitch. Once again, going into that challenge from Johnny Fortune. So strong right here from Fortune.
And he's been a handful so far in this game. Just the positions he's been picking up. This run into the last second of collision with Wagner. Sees opening space for Fortune, goes himself.
Player comparison is presented by Celsius Pure Passion and maximum energy with zero sugar. We're taking a look at the distance covered. Maybe used to drink the Celsius before the game. With all that energy flowing through Lukic, going up and down on that right side, and Albion is buzzing about through that middle, putting in a real shift.
Yeah, maybe not the same distance as Lukic, but very close. That's the quality of the touches that Almiron has had. More dangerous runs in behind.
Chile goes over, referee moved. Philadelphia, actually the team that sprint the second most in MLS. They put in those high intensity runs as this looks onside here. That comeback was on. The block coming in from Albion from that cross, and Bedoya will be a corner to Philadelphia. Bedoya so good running down that right channel.
And also Philadelphia Union so good on set pieces. Ball's whipped in from Convazio with his left foot. And it's been a vulnerability of Atlanta United. So the area, even though Philadelphia hasn't had a ton of possession or in the way of chances, they can capitalize here.
Wagner to deliver, looked in, a real passing comes out. Practices that in the warm-up to the game, those strong punches away. Bueno lifting back in, it's a dangerous delivery, and Bedoya on the volley, hit it into the ground. Offside flag came up. Gonzaga wasn't having it there, protecting his teammate. Miyachuku went down on that line. Gonzaga has been here since the opening season of Atlanta United, 2017. Of course, the hero in last season's playoffs against Inter Miami in that first round win. Save after save in that series. Janitza down the line now, Midon. A sprint to get there and can't keep it in play. Miyanchuk shifting. Difficult to read what he's going to do. He lost back with Derek Williams. Janitza. First touch right, but sort of got away from him.
Characteristic of Janitza, because we've seen a few of those in this game just coming on as a substitute, gotten away from him.
Edwards spotting the window to cross, but hit it into Makanya. Edwards to challenge a call there from Damiani. The referee says we play on. Going to Atlanta. It looked like Edwards got hit here.
There's been some hard challenges, Chris. Clean challenge in the end. Right foot comes through, gets all of it. Great call.
Edwards, we don't try to get right side. Moving up. Lifted away there from Bedoya. Philadelphia very much looking to hit on the break. Really, and those counter-attacking moments come to fruition. Almiron slided toward Janitza with that window closed and the space that's out here for Chris Donovan. So two of them making a decision. Shot up that fortunate Miyachuku. Just control.
There's been some beautiful balls, Miyachuku. Just the vision that he has. There's too many touches for Donovan. Dispossessed the midfield, and immediately the first look from Miyachuku is straight into the path of Chile. Get too heavy of that catch, can't control himself.
On the counter, Chris
Good
Donovan
idea.
slowed down in the center of the field, had to take it away. Now a counter on the other end. It's Yore shoots to the ground. Love not get his foot
Position in the second half.
Oh my
At some point,
right down in the center of
Rested
the
tonight.
field. Yore trying to chase it down, went to the turn.
step forward as that cross gets it towards the line.
What a dangerous moment there for Man United.
And over the wing of support. Edwards.
Cross in the box, goes out there to tie on it.
The action played back.
Make something happen there.
Towards Alabama, neither Dean or Amador can get to it. They want to go quickly. All handled here by Donovan. Running beyond Amador. Donovan low and away from Williams. Was well placed. And Antonio getting caught out there for the throw.
Second
And that's two options there for that right hand side. Whether it's the serve ball in from wide or just that last drive. And see, I mean, easy defensively for the United. The loser marks.
down that far side with the right foot.
Here comes all the way through.
Sneak it in
Towards Mickey.
the
He went flying towards it and closed that window quickly. Closer to Philly.
Yeah, that's exactly what it takes, Chris. Coming over, committed defensively. Edwards sees Uwa lining up. He just hit it too far. Just comes in. Sure doesn't put anything on it.
Wait for a moment, knocked down. Now you're trying to crash on it. Pops its way over with right foot. Had it knocked away by Atlanta United. Who's quickly trying to gather the troops and the home crowd. Take a deep breath. That one nearly. Very fortunate match to
Going quickly. Sonny Chane sprinting. Heading to safety. Let's get the applause there from the coach you see down there. Bradley Carnelis. These are the team benches built by the Home Depot. Atlanta already forced to using one substitution. With Savage and Hudson coming in for the injured. Coach Lennon, but so the remaining changes available to Ronnie Tyler. He's the substitution for firepower on this bench. Tamarino. Will Sullivan, Tom Sullivan, and yes, that's the newly signed Ben Bender available on the bench as well. Carnell can certainly change his game in the second half.
Major League Soccer turns off those set pieces.
The leader defenders is next out there back lights up.
Trying to bring a little bit of pressure, closing moments of this happening.
Manager Bradley Carnell talking about midweek as a trap of all traps. Which listening towards Tua measuring that volley and didn't catch it right. On the way, Edwards again tracking.
Able to get it there. Next pass from Atlanta United. Right to Dave Barrett. Right foot trying to get it. Direction. Knock him out. It's going to get back to the Union. Just outside the box. Trying to contain it with the left foot. Edwards is in. Takes it to a cruise. Unable to get the touch that he wanted. There. Sense of urgency coming. Trying to make something happen.
Just either overhead, either underhead, either
Some opportunities are going to come
defensive shape. Good first half from Atlanta United. Good energy, urgency on
Now
there.
the other Atlanta United, but the long pass that one bounds is secured by Andrew Unless you're eight of the Philadelphia Union's most prestigious great teams from across the nation to play the sports register today at
Williams. Donovan needing an outlet.
Austin, come on.
And eventually free kick given. As we're into added time presented by Howie in the middle of 1 minute. The end of this first half.
able to head it forward, and now they're trying to make something happen. Over the right, Donovan, a couple of touches, that's this one away. But Julian right just outside the box, right foot for cross.
Janitza making it from the bench and a chance to get a real run of minutes. And some positive moments, but really made them tell. A couple of decent chances, but no goals as yet. Still 14-4 in 13 games. So I thought it would be crazy if they scored goals. The ball on the corner. With the upside flag coming up anyway. Looked like it was Frankie Westfield who begged your pardon. But across the Janitza, looked like it opened up for a moment.
Well, these are the areas that where Janitza really wants to be living in. Right pulling on the space in between the two center backs.
Bad time here. Janitza going to try to
Outside
take it
there
down.
in the end, it's a great drive. What a wonderful defensive play that is from Westfield to come across, make the play.
It does. It takes us to halftime. Middle at the break. What would you make of the first half?
The great first half from Mary Knight coming out front foot. The only thing was the final pass that let them down. But credit to the Philadelphia Union. Changed their shape, defended for their life, and really made them work for every opportunity they got.
And it's goalless at the break. Rick and Guzan both making big saves in that first half. But it's Atlanta 0, Philadelphia 0 after 45 minutes. Our halftime show is on the way.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can explore the neighborhood. Live like a local. Unplug for the day. Plunge into the area. With IHG's 19 hotel brands, you can guest how you guest.
Fucking messy drinking alcohol.
Maybe a different beer?
BRB.
Right, he was covering a near post. It's deflected out as well. The 19-year-old Hobo goalkeeper made a massive contribution in that moment of the game. If you look at the shot chart, was the full color winner. The shots on target, expected goals, slightly in the favor of Philadelphia through 45 minutes. But so plenty of players that can come on and turn this one around. This is a major league performance. This is how the official automotive partner of Major League Soccer. Still some big players to come on from the bench. We're back a decent game for 45 minutes. Let's get a goal on the other side. Atlanta nil, Philadelphia nil. The second 45 minutes is next.
No, I will get on copyright. Sorry. Ooh, no, it's going up now. It's going up.
You gotta look it up sometime. Or no, not.
Can you search cool outfits to wear with chartreuse necklace?
Goldfish have short memories.
5 or 6 times.
You like goldfish? Brother.
Burning rubber.
Yeah.
I left the handbrake on. The car was on the ground. I was
24 Ultra?
Looking for Ultra? Thirsty for an Ultra?
Put an Ultra on. Don't forget, there's always no one. Denny.
It's a beautiful lake after. It's a great
Get it before you respect. Get it in as fast as an hour with express delivery.
I'm an overpowered leaf blower, and I'm not exactly street legal.
If you don't have the right auto coverage, this can really blow your budget. Get Allstate, save money, and get protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Seattle makes noise. We were here. Had a time in Philly. Of course. LA captures the cup. Legendary. For 15 seasons and counting, we've had the best view in the house. Join us every week to see what happens next.
Welcome back. This presentation of MLS on Apple TV is presented by T-Mobile. We are in Atlanta, Georgia this evening as Philadelphia Union return onto the pitch. An interesting second 45 minutes of play. We're hearing word already that Philadelphia will make a halftime change with Ty Baribo, the golden boot leader, set to come in. As we get out to the supporter scan, just brought to you by Lowe's. Visit Lowe's, the ultimate assist on your next project. This supporter end here in Atlanta, one of the very best across Major League Soccer, making a noise throughout the 45 minutes. And the crowd going, but they are ready to celebrate a goal, potentially even from that man right there, Miguel Almiron, as that was our supporter cam. Now, Laura, looking toward the second 45 minutes, already hearing word of Baribo coming on. What do you feel like Philly need to do to get a little bit more of a foothold in the game?
Well, find Baribo if he is going to slot in right where Donovan is and allow him to be an outlet positionally, because what they lost their way in is somebody that is really going to push the pace, getting in behind. Baribo can do that, but he can also play off really well with their relationship.
There is that huddle. Baribo will file over toward the official representative. A friendly word there with Chris Penso, our match day referee. There's Rodrigo, who's on a terrific run of form. You look back towards midway through last season, he's on basically 4 goals every 5 games, 0.8 goals per 90 minutes. Just a player that struggled to get any playing time, really, until Julian Carranza left. It was about a year where he didn't really play for Jim Curtin, and he's coming to the side and he did an unbelievable goal scorer.
Just an excellent threat up top. He can play with Lula, he can play with Donovan, he can play with Damiani. It's just a relationship, but really what it is this knack to find the space inside the 18-yard box. So if we do see them start to push forward and have service for the wide areas, keep an eye on him.
He right now is in the middle of that center circle, getting ready to enter the game and leading the goal race on 10 goals from 13 games. Come off the bench for a second time this season here tonight. Israel International. And one of the top players in MLS this season as we're underway with the second half. Atlanta and Philly goalless after 45 minutes, and we were looking for the breakthrough. It's Damiani bumped into there from Luis Sabran. It'll be a free kick in a decent area as well. Less than 15 seconds into this second half. First one ball forward, already a heavy collision.
It's a big ball forward that we're used to seeing from Philadelphia Union. I do think there is going to be a shift in a bit of their mentality, maybe open themselves up a bit more defensively to get to go inside the 18-yard box where he's very dangerous, already earning this free kick. Kind of out here stepping over it, whipping in with his left foot.
Wagner are over it. Wagner looks like he wants to send it into that corridor of uncertainty between the goalkeeper and that defensive line. A lot of pushing and shoving as Wagner lifts in, and the header comes all the way through. Kuzan diving across to make sure, but let's go out and play for a goal kick. So we're going to take a look at this one, courtesy of our T-Mobile NetCam. This exclusive NetCam replay is brought to you by T-Mobile, and there's that effort that goes wide there.
Bedoya is the one that just tries to glance it on. And a few of those. Get ready for Atlanta United in the first half. Nat Bedoya.
Went in the way of that ball forward, but see, maybe those chances are there from set pieces. We've seen some danger from corners for the Union. Atlanta having a bulk of possession in the first half, and they go in here in the second. I think the channel's there towards Chane, but Nathan Harrell, a key intervention. William Bond couldn't get across the and has to retreat to his position, but that early delivery and the block away from Abram, but already looking sharper from Philly at the interval. Talk to the build-up for this one, didn't we, Laurie, about Philadelphia starting games well. They didn't really get off to the best of starts in this game, but been much better at halftime.
I almost feel like it was by design, just to sit back, conserve some energy, force Atlanta to have to possess, break them down. They weren't able to do that, and now they can come out of their shell, push the pace a bit more that they're accustomed to and that they like.
Atlanta not very good coming out of the restart. First 15 minutes of the second half, they've already conceded 7 goals this season. As referee Chris Metzo can have a word here. It's like a few players getting involved there, but it's Damiani. We'll have a frank exchange of views with Matt Edwards. So just mediating things in that area. Really sending plenty forward. Here's Wagner's delivering. Kuzan into. As he went out for that one, and it's Damiani who got that talking to from referee Penso, who's going to get a yellow card. Absolutely clearing out his head in the air and having his name taken for it.
Immediately I looked at you and said there has to be a yellow card because look at the position of Guzan comes out brave just to punch it away. Damiani doesn't even see where he is. I mean, he brings his hand at the very last second saying that is on me. Just cleans out Guzan.
Second booking of the game is Bedoya had his name taken earlier. Williams. Turning each way to the find the space for Abram. Attempt to play direct his fortune. Couldn't control it. Bueno. Damiani. Leads is kind of that number 10 in behind two strikers, although Haribo replaces Donovan.
And this is where it gets interesting, Chris, because if Atlanta United continue to try to play long balls, just favors the way that Philadelphia Union want to play right into their hands, and then that opens up the game. That's where they thrive. You're spacing between the lines, you get the runners, the service coming from deep, or they can unload the wide areas. So Atlanta United just need to be mindful that they don't just try to play too direct or overplay in certain areas.
Lukic tries to angle it towards Uwapa. Well, left there from Williams for Frank Hussein. Amador. Mercedes-Benz Stadium will be busy in the summer, hosting soccer events from the Club World Cup here. Interesting games as well coming here. Chelsea in the winner of that playoff, which would be fantastic on May the 31st between LAFC and Club America to decide who plays the Club World Cup. Miami and FC Porto will play here as well. As always, the summer of soccer will be multi-entertaining. Amador. More patient now in possession for Atlanta, trying a few direct approaches. Wide here is Midanchuk, but the chasm between where he is and the attacking options. Amador just hits it into Westfield. A switch side moving over to this right, but Abraham with a loose touch and headed into the space from Damiani. Now darting into that area. There's Mikhail Uma, who sends it across and Kusana get a piece. Still on though. Westfield. Letting it back here with Bedoya. Uma slipping it into Bedoya. His comeback is on, and still a chance here at trying there as Maribo, but didn't quite catch it.
Just a commitment to get numbers into the box for Philadelphia Union on those runs. That's the difference between most teams and them.
Good there from China to lead the break here. Look, Chinese coming inside. And still, there is the Georgian running into trouble, but can't turn out of it. Janice wasn't having it there from Jovan Lukic. Square with Midanchuk. We'll play it to Lukjanica. Stutter step ahead of Makanya, who can put the challenge in and play it off of Lukjanica out for the goal kick. Here's that earlier save from Brakuzan.
Well, there's the run from Luan, and commitment from the runners for Philadelphia Union forces that big save from Guzan. Just make sure doesn't find a feet of any Philadelphia Union players. Been really good tonight.
This is the win probability. So on kickoff, Atlanta favor. Now the most likely outcome is the draw. Philadelphia, though, take advantage of their moments as they attempt to do so here. Bit of a falling over there is Damiani and Edwards who are involved. Pointing towards a run in behind, but Edwards not taking the chance and cycling with Williams and with Abram. And winless in their last 7 games. That a giveaway from Amador. Amador sprinting to get across, and now has to get right side. Maribo does. Amador switching, but the ambitious ball doesn't quite come up. Still, Janitze controlling ahead of Makanya, who needed to get involved. And big step there. The South African had plenty of space to run into now. Early and forward towards Kuzan off his line and missed his kick. Underway dragged him out. And the sliding challenge coming from Abram. Saving a goal, the Peruvian. And covering for his goalkeeper, who got it wrong in the key moment.
But what a superb ball this is from Kai Wagner. Just loads of space. But opts just to feather that ball into the back, and it forces Guzan to have to come off his line because otherwise Luan's going to be wide open to go himself. Just misses it, doesn't get the clean look on it. But there's a commitment once again from Atlanta United defensively. We saw Kai Wagner right there. It's going to be interesting. They're going to be checking this as usual. That's going to be a penalty kick.
There's a suggestion of handball here as Abraham went to ground to put the block in.
Well, immediately we could see Kai Wagner yelling for the handball. You see it on the replay there, clear handball from Abraham.
Have a look here at this moment. So Guzan misses it there, and then at that moment, you see that right arm is out as he went to ground. It struck his hand.
How different this second half has been for Philadelphia Union. Direct play.
Yunus Marachi has referred Chris Penso over to the monitor pitch side. Again, this is being checked for a possible handball in the build-up here.
This is going to be a penalty kick for me. So you see the replay, easy call, but it all starts, even just the energy of Maribo coming into this game and how it started. The early ball in from Kai Wagner puts Guzan in that position, and then Abraham in this position as well because it's misplayed. Has to go to the ground, try to block it, and fortunate for left center back for Atlanta United.
You are seeing what the referee is seeing, what the VAR is showing to Chris Penso. He wants to see the incident in full context. He's sliding there, and you are sliding and your arms are out. That is kind of what you're meant to do. That's how you slide, isn't it?
That's how you slide, for sure, but we've seen a lot of things called.
Of course. And with the way that the laws have been applied for handball, if your arms are out, it strikes your hand. It's just one of those things that it's hard to deny. Chris Penso, though, is having a real look at it. Well, I'll get his word after this VAR check.
After review, there's a handling offense by Atlanta number 34. The final decision is a yellow card.
And that's given as a yellow card as well against Luis Abraham. So confirmation there of a penalty to Philadelphia Union. That mistake from Guzan does prove pivotal. As even though Abraham went to ground and won it. It is.
And you can hear the home crowd with the reaction to the goal, and now a yellow card presented.
Philadelphia, a big chance here to take the lead for the Union away from home.
To Abraham. Abraham getting the yellow card here.
Let Barrio take it.
Set up on the spot.
It's going to be interesting to see who is going to take this penalty kick. Probably Ty Baribo.
Baribo already with 10 this season.
So,
Standing next to the
there's confirmation of that yellow card.
The referee and Chris Penso right now addressing
Baribo will step up to take, especially yet to convert a penalty this season in the midst of his 10 goals.
Discussing it now. Guzan going to make his way back to the net. Line 5 and
to come back on this penalty kick. It's a bit lucky for Zidane because the shot of Luan was not. Now, it was a defender coming back behind Abraham, so he didn't clear this ball. So it's lucky for this play, but now we need to finish the job, and Ty Baribo needs to be able to score this penalty kick against Brad Guzan.
Baribo already with 10 goals this season. The opportunity, the penalty kick. Guzan on his line, jumping into the air. Baribo approaches with the right foot, finds the back of the net. Ty Baribo sneaking past Guzan and giving the Union a goal advantage here on the road in Atlanta.
And then Baribo, with the form that he's in, you always got a chance to get chances. Just step
across his body to his left on the ground, using the turf, making the opponent going fast into the net and getting the first goal of the game. But well deserved from the Union because in the first 10 minutes of this second half, they were the best team. You can see Atlanta really having many chances, no solution, and some quick counter-attack of the Union in this one. Good ball of Wagner for
One of their top-level players coming onto the pitch. Segovia comes off. Damiani coming off as well. The two players on yellow cards will get subbed out, and now Atlanta needing to find a response yet again. Don't want to make it another home defeat. That ball from Baribo is slightly overcooked.
The left side.
They started this game well, but never got their goal, and now they need to pay for that big mistake from Hussein. Who will be compounded by the handling of pace. Luis Abrams on it here. Amador. Just forward, and they don't seem to control ahead of Bueno. The ball forward hitting the referee, but fair enough. Philly can play on through Quinn Sullivan. Sliding it for Moore to chase. These runners in a forward line in Major League Soccer. Always hitting the channels. Wagner. Put that Atlanta defense under pressure. That ball in behind. Just for the assist, but his contribution should be noted. Westfield.
You just see the formation change, go back to the preferred fullback. Westfield on this near side, Wagner rounding out on the left. And then with Daly coming in, we'll just sit next to Bueno, but also have Lukic back in his preferred position as well. So it has some stability centrally.
Williams. Here's Amador. It's a draw 3, lost 4 of their last 7. No wins in that period. Only 13th in the East and 7 points off of that final playoff spot already.
Alexa, turn all lights to white.
Marshall it. Edwards. Midanchuk well done to send Lukic the wrong way. Midanchuk listing in and Harriel. Abraham. Fortune. Midanchuk lifting in a decent ball. And a running on the back post is Amador. Shying away from it as well. And appealing that he was fouled when trying to go up for that one. But here's a goal kick to Philadelphia.
Those are the most dangerous areas for Atlanta because you just see the positioning stays wide, gives himself a little bit of time. But then 3v3 runners, 2 players for Philadelphia Union going, Amador wide open, but just in the last second, skips away from him with that little bounce.
The Match Day Live scores are presented by AT&T. Looking at the kickoffs, the early one, Toronto hammering Montreal in Canadian Classic. Montreal out to 10 men. Herbatsky at the double. Chicago currently leading Charlotte by 2 goals to 0. These are the late kickoffs starting underway in Minnesota. And in Nashville, still goalless there. Rocky Mountain Cup, Cascadia, still to come tonight. 2 big ones on Sunday Night Soccer as well. Here's Bueno.
It's the center of the field. Okay. The Union, they're in possession here. Securing. Sullivan trying to push this one ahead.
Hussein.
Rebound, aggressive and run. Towards They're going to keep this press on.
Amador.
Right side. That pressure going to make dividends for the moment.
Ball change being ready. See the 2 players ready to come on to the bottom of your screen, and we will skin up. Emmanuel Torrente lights. That's a good signing. Midanchuk. directed towards Janitsa, but they get the right side of the defender. Edwards, low one.
Producer in the booth.
Eric Williams looking at 11 Philadelphia Union players and trying to find the way through Albion. Hitting the channel towards Cheyenne. Makanya placing himself between the goalkeeper and the attacker. Holding back Jamal Cheyenne.
United. They're on the back line. Near side with the left foot pushing that TRA trying to run in on that right sliding grab it. A decisive play by racing.
The shoulder there. And here's Amador.
Just could not get the positioning to get to that ball.
Janitsa.
That's a play there for the Union. Just did not let him get any sort of a touch on it. Good pass.
Yeah, because it's easy to get that ball in the situation. And beyond now, it's very able to get the ball.
Pedro Amador. Such a key part of this side getting forward, but it's a dangerous ball there for Union Bond. Even with the ball being clean to the judgment of the referee. Sullivan. Square for Lukic, making a good run. Cutting inside Lukic. And finding through. Turning there. Was Rodrigo. Couldn't control it though. Janitsa though, loose touch. And the strike is on for
Hard.
Certainly had his crux at long distance, has a couple goals for him. That will go well on target.
Their attack with their Sullivan moving left, spinning back.
We'll have the double substitution, left and left. Really for Cheyenne. Instead of Tristan back. They're attack-minded. To go attack the game.
Just teased it.
Directing the traffic of the tactical changes. Mosquera comes in, scoring, going advance to be hoping for here with three substitutions.
And more attacking presence needed right now. Some of the players just putting themselves under pressure defensively with the amount of pressure Philadelphia Union will apply higher up the field. So now they're going to get fresh legs in, try to push the pace a little bit more themselves. But still plenty of time, so these moments right here, they have to make sure they still have good shape behind the ball to deny any sort of counterattack opportunities for Philly.
Mosquera into a dead end and was bumped off it, but free kick given. Janitsa. Edwards got an initial touch, but didn't quite settle it down. Milachuk, fortunate, nearly out of the trouble. Amador, Almiron, Taylor trying to help it on, but didn't quite come off of the former Middlesbrough man.
On the hope is also to get Almiron on the ball and between the two lines with Mosquera coming in, occupying the wide areas.
Running down this left side and trying to get the cross into it. Lefty lots in the block up Westfield. Corner coming.
Pushed ahead, trying to get it back over there from Amador. Yeah, this one was intended for it, did not make it there.
Well, Janitsa will present himself as a short option here. Actually, want to take it himself.
The city attempted cross.
Here's what Janitsa's delivery was running the heart of that penalty area. Monte Lacno unable to direct it on target. Fans, don't miss a special doubleheader edition of Sunday Night Soccer this week with Lionel Messi and Inter Miami, Luis Muriel and Orlando City, followed by the latest installment of El Tráfico. LA Galaxy versus crosstown rivals Eddie Belongo and LAFC are going to begin at 6 p.m. Eastern Time right here on MLS Season Pass. LA Galaxy winless in 13 games, lost to the Union in midweek. Sometimes you just want to release that people on those simply rivalry games. Flick on in towards Uwa. Quinn Sullivan going chasing, but Edwards, his burst of pace. Lucetta playing it back towards him.
Morales saying, give me the ball. There's no one stepping towards me. Instead, they go side to side, allow for Philadelphia to get back into their shape. That's where there has to be a bit more urgency. And the point that I was making in the first half, sometimes play a bit too slow.
Edwards had to get it beyond Lukic. He found the way through. So carried there from Sullivan. And returning for Quinn Sullivan. It was there for him, but just a bit too much pace on it. And claimed it by his hand. Really flawlessly worked there. Bit of pace. Extra there for Ua.
Two defenders is able to do so, push it out to the left. Just it's trying to get back to Sullivan. Just a step ahead of him. Goes on sliding in ready.
Kanya awkwardly away. Montelaccio just played it. Other than had to go out for the throw towards Amador, who controls. Amador looking at the back post. Almiron and Lochanitsa wanted it. What's it over? Lochanitsa the touch and slipped away from Ariel. Not did he hit that. And the referee will stop play to allow Philly to make a change just as the momentum was beginning. Indiana Vaxlov will come in for Jesus Bueno. And perhaps a substitution that couldn't have come at a better time at the end of this save.
I feel like this has happened a few different times. Lochanitsa does get the shot off first and a huge save, but it would have been easier for Lochanitsa just to get on the end of it initially. Miscommunication, Almiron takes it. Both in the same exact spot. And Rick with a few wonderful saves in this game down low, and that's something that we heard from Bradley Carnell. Really played in. MLS Next Pro. I'm going to give him and reward him with some of the saves that he's made. And what he's putting in that training.
Sometimes MLS Next Pro was most of the microscope on goalkeepers because every game that ends in a draw is settled by a penalty shootout. So you're put in that situation over and over again. One of the things that I really felt confident, particularly picking the U.S. Open Cup in Indy 11 in the last round. Play another USL Championship side, the only remaining USL Championship side in the competition in midweek in the Open Cup. So take on Pittsburgh River Hounds. Muthaila feeling that pressure. It's just that feeling that needs a bit of time to coalesce and come together, but such a microscope around this club, given the money spent, given the star power, the expectations that have come for Atlanta United, really from day one. Standard has been set. Sullivan trying from long distance, and Hussein uncomfortable with the knowledge it was going wide.
He has told us he wants to get on the score sheet, so why not? 7 assists on the season.
Williams. Amador. Scan comes kindly for Almiron and played back towards him. Harriel getting across and measuring his challenge to perfection. Harriel taking off a couple of rolls of that defense. It is a left and a right back. Four. Center back as well, both the back three and the back four. Late Latz in towards Almiron. Could come from Minanchuk, but Westfield was there. No foul given as Minanchuk will lift back in. Janitze Late Latz flinging himself towards it, and that looks like a clash of heads. And a fairly nasty one as well. Andrew Rick is waving towards the medical staff, both of them to come on. It looked like it was Wagner got hit in the back of the head. Both players going for it. Bradley Carnell sitting on that medical team. There's a look at the challenge, and it's a jump ball. There's that bump of heads. Wagner Needs some help, and there's a gash there. Wagner is bleeding, so that will have to be tended to here. It's one of those that can happen. Both players going for it aggressively. Latte Lot's one of the best in MLS in the air. Aggressively go for it, but that time.
Also a bit surprising that Latte Lot's come out so cleanly. Yeah, he had the momentum, and that's what caught the back of Wagner's head. Still a big collision.
Bradley Carnell concerned. One of his best players already missed a period of time with injury this season. That looked a bit of a nasty one there. I think particularly aggressive in it from Latte Lot or anything that's a foul, but that would be a concern as Glesnes will be put through his paces on that far side in case he needs to enter. We still have that substitution window open, and this could potentially be a concussion substitution as well. It's treated as such. And there's Latte Lot, the medical director of this game. Checking for any potential head injury. Latte Lot, as you mentioned, Laura, comes away relatively unscathed considering the remaining substitutions being put through their paces. See Ben Bender, along with 15-year-old Kevin Sullivan, but it would be required. It would be Glesnes as you see Wagner back to his feet. A couple of the physios still having a word. Glesnes still doing his warm-ups. Lengthy delay here as Wagner will walk back towards the halfway line. Seemingly look okay, but never know for sure. We'll resume play. Both sides temporarily down to 10. Long delays in the second half, one for the VAR check, which eventually led to the penalty converted by Garibo, and now this treatment. Either player allowed to re-enter. Here's Midanchuk. Fortune. Amador. Mosquera driving towards that byline and lifting the cross in. Here's Edwards. And Williams. Amador. Fortune. Now both players are re-entering into the field of play. You see Wagner and Latte Lot into your screen. Fortune behind, and Edwards doesn't quite have the pace to get there. So 12 minutes remaining. Atlanta have to regain the initiative in the game as the heat map is presented by IHG. Team branded 6,000 destinations. Download the app today. And Nathan Harriel has been all over tonight and really all over every position in that defense.
That's what I was going to say. It's a big shift tonight, whether it's a 3-back or a 4-back. An important part and not easy to adjust coming out in the second half. Switching formations, they've done really well sitting next to Akanya. Really still any sort of attack right now for Atlanta United, but with still some lengthy extra time, I imagine, in this game. It's really important that they use their width, Atlanta United, as their friend, because Philadelphia is just dropping back defensively when it's deep in their own half, just conceding some space.
Williams. And so we're in a moment in the ascendancy, but since the substitution that brought on Vasilyev, the injury stoppage after regaining Williams going over the top. I'm going to look to time this run towards the ready to launch it, pressure, and the block came in. Fantastic defending from Harry and Westfield in that moment. Lots had the window there for the equalizer, but couldn't take it.
Well, now Alvaro wanted this one back because he's the one that just locks it in. But look at all the defenders converge on Latte Lot. He could have just easily tapped it back down there on wide open. Doesn't see it and allows for Philadelphia to be able to make the play defensively.
And that no scan. A chance to cross, an awkward deflection, and Lukic's taking no chances, moving that one about 30 rows into the stand.
These guys get good since coming on. Providing some energy.
Fortunate the block coming in there from Danny Jean-Jacques, and referee is going to give a free kick here. Trinidad Tobago International running into Haitian International.
His body's in up, but I love it from Miami United because that's the urgency. Get the quick throw in. First in, Daniel to come across. It's not fortune over.
Miranchuk will be over this free kick.
Look at others they have, in particular, has whipped this in behind.
Plenty of space to cross into. Miranchuk delivers a real pace, but far too close to Rick. Fall over it. Heard some cheers from the Atlanta supporters. Rick was taking his time to put it back in play, and imagines the Philly trying to see out an away result here, and what a result it would be. Rotating and changing system, and getting some of your best attackers on the bench, and get a away result. On the stage they will.
And also the way they started the game on Wednesday versus LA Galaxy, going down 2-0. They needed a course correct, but at the same time came out with a different formation and forced them to defend, not create the same energy that they're used to. They did well enough. Immediately come out of the gates in the second half, earning a penalty.
Second in the East coming into the night. Victory to keep pace with brilliant sides around them. Two Ohio sides, and Miami lingering as well. Rebo stuck in that corner. Touchdown for Mamadou, help over there from Mosquera. Westfield had an arm lock, but the referee allowed play to continue. Lukic. Now Sullivan looking for a window. Quinn Sullivan. The percentage is pulling that one away. This is an instinctual reaction there. That no time for the corner.
Lukic was looking fantastic tonight. But also to the step from Harry, just winning the ball, and then look at the position. You got 4 or 5 players for Philly. And this is where they've been so dangerous all season long. Getting teams in, you think you have more time, you don't. When Sullivan tries his luck again, of course he got saved. He just hits off his hand.
Sending the heart of that area, the header was on, and things around a couple times, but Latte Lot gets one out, he wants to break. Mosquera, look at the space they get into. Mosquera, in towards Almiana, got stuck in his feet.
Way too long. It's got to go a step earlier. Just hit it first time almost. You see the commitment from Almiron. Latte Lot. And the pressure that they would feel from Philly getting back. You just had to whip that in behind. And that's been the difference in this second half. Philadelphia's just decisive with the decision making. Hoover balls in, the from Wagner that led to Kazan mishandling it and the penalty kick. Could have had a same opportunity in this one, but just too late for Mosquera.
Amador. Over the head of Latte Lot. Rebo. Unfortunate. Samuel Janitze, time to run well. And it's in beyond Makanya. Angle road is narrowing. Leads an outlet towards Mosqueda. He couldn't play it. Out for the throw.
Too many times in this game. Heavy passes. Once they get in a good positions higher in the field. Overweighted passes, underweighted.
Fighting through, and eventually off of Abraham for a throw. The match momentum is presented by Old Spice. See, really, since Philly got that goal, it's largely been Atlanta control the game, but before they could tell, it's a play largely in the favor of Atlanta into that last period of the first half. SLF never went over the line. Counting on. Going quickly towards Latte Lots. Running ahead of Makanya. Needs some help. Latte Lots. Challenges coming in from either side. And now the offside flag comes up. It's the Ivory Coast native. Salish will come in for Amador as the final change. Pedro Amador's going up and down on that left side, has to come out. It'll be fortunate to move over to the left, but really everyone going forward now. Chasing an equalizer with 4 minutes to play in the 90th. One imagines a decent amount of stoppage time as well. Edwards let it run and trying to get his body shape, but instead let it run out of play. A hush of frustration coming over this stadium.
In large parts for Atlanta United, they're getting some good spells. There's some awkward moments, again, in the final third when they overhit, can't connect when they need it most, and just some plays like this that just allow Philadelphia now to slow things down. Won't be in any rush to put this one back in the play.
Wagner. Philly just killing the game right now as Edwards is surrounded by 3 Philly players and isn't having it from Poole or Dorito or Sullivan. Crowd with that ATL chant trying to get behind the team, but it's a flick on in towards that area, and Jean-Jacques was running through, but couldn't control it.
Those are always the annoying ones. One body part to the next, can't control it.
Coming up. Sleesh. Just stuck in the middle. He's played to or with. One there by Danny Jean-Jacques and strongly back from Bartosz Schlich. Coming on it. Will Janitze just go out into there by Todd Wagner. Both players going over. Wagner already had that collision there with Latte Lots, and Derek Williams making a strong appeal here that should be at the very least further discipline for Wagner.
Well, so many heavy challenges in this game. It's the first time like there's such quick play, but Wagner reads it really well, but my goodness, comes in. Huge collision for both, and I'm not so sure why Wagner is still on this field. You make the argument that it is a yellow card, and there it is.
Yeah, confirmed there from referee Chris Penso that it is a booking for Kai Wagner, leaving one in late there on Samuel Janitze. Leave me not choke to have a free kick in the final minute of the 90 here. Line on the edge of the penalty area. As the free kick is still being held, you wonder if they might be looking at this for a possible red card as well. And now we play on. Minachuk whipping it at pace, but a strong header away from Makanya. John Chopwood chasing, but ball still here for Minachuk. Tries to head towards that area. Makanya looking no chances. Rebo. Latte lock with a strong bit of body positioning. Sleesh. Almidon. Poked away for a throw as we're into added time presented by Abbey, a minimum of 9 minutes. Coming here at the end of the second half with the crowd gaining a sense of encouragement for it. We have to get some play going. It's a throw into the Union.
Also just seem to come down in front of goal because at times you feel like they're just almost too tense, want to make it happen so badly. Plenty of time, you just need that one opportunity to make sure they call players off, posing yourself in the right moments.
Free kick taken quickly. A loose one there from Almiron, and Uo will just let it go out for the throw. And they group positions in good areas, able to really string the passes together.
And that's the anxiousness I was talking about. Putting themselves in good positions. They do have a variety of ways that they can tackle Man United, but it's the last second of letting themselves down.
Williams going direct. Straightforward win there for Harriam. Axel, who hasn't been too involved since coming on. Is there with fortune? Williams. And Edwards from Kusea. Sent forward into his space, but Kanye will just let it go and tells Andrew Rick to come out and claim, and one time will take down here. Knights have looked a long way from their first win in 8. Really salvage a point, but Philadelphia looking assured and strong. Eventually set forward from Rick.
And they do need to take confidence so that they got the late equalizer.
Oh, Philly, you, the gold and blue. Now let us sit.
Strong challenge here from Mosqueda. Not going to get into those kinds of areas. Need to. Strong challenge from Mosqueda. It's a yellow. Might have even been for the appeal towards the assistant referee.
Just also no attempt right now to even play the ball. The last second, Norzula has the better of it, just comes in. Shoulders it down. It's all these little things that are adding up right now for our United. Brock will just continue to click. One of those ones.
Player to come in here. Big door, center back on, striker off. So we'll go with the mentality is here.
Good one. By Robbie. Oh,
The head was on and went off of Sleesh as Westfield went for it. Corner to Philly. This is exactly how they would have wanted second half stop this time to go. Sullivan to take this corner. Into that near post. Now Mosqueda. Back to Almiron. Getting another touch, but Lukic keeping with Sullivan.
Rush feet.
Oh, shit! Westfield just started to wide of the post.
Let you right back in for it. Dancing this shot. You can never
could have done it. Should have done it.
Philadelphia and their willingness to get back and force the that issue and that turnover from Man United.
Coming up next for Philadelphia.
Sha la 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 la. Oh, Philly, you the golden blue. Now let us sing a song for you. Sha la la la. Oh, lo lo lo. It's a mystery meat with a flaky crust. Oh, sausage roll. It's a mystery meat with a flaky crust. Sausage roll. Sausage roll. Sausage roll. Oh, sausage roll. It's a mystery meat and a flaky crust.
I'll be going in between lines of ball control there by Mosquera. He dances beyond Lukic and lifts toward Janitze. And back here with Miranchuk. Lifted towards Slish and unable to get to it.
It's a mystery meat and a fight.
For that Hollywood pass over distance. Still time left, but Atlanta very quickly seeing this second half stoppage time expire. You know, he's been the big man on so many occasions for Atlanta, but that was some time ago. It was 2017, 2018 before leaving to Newcastle. He has to do it back in a five-stripe shirt. Lifted towards Latte. Glazers will just let it go. His attempts to go direct just not really coming off.
No, it's not. And the first half, they did such a good job of moving it side to side, using the wide areas, and you just feel, it goes back to the word that I was saying, anxious. Because at times, it just feels like they want to rush. They're so eager to get into their attacking half and try to create something. They haven't been able to consistently all season long. The only effort they have is just to dump it in, and it goes into the hands of Philadelphia Union. Has the entire second half as well.
Sausage roll. Sausage roll. Oh, sausage roll. It's a mystery meat and a flaky crust.
Have to go again. Slish. Alexei Miranchuk. Fortune. Lifted into that area, and it's a Latte. And Derek Williams on save from Rick.
Oh my
How many
God.
times does he come up huge tonight? The 19-year-old with save after save in big moments. Derek Williams, the center back, staying forward and put a good shot on target. Fortune. Seemingly from out of nowhere, it came from Latte. Slish lifting back in. Latte going for the header, but couldn't get a piece of it. And it does go out of play.
What an opportunity this was, and it also took that ball in because there's some texture on it. Latte brings it down wonderfully, allows him to be able to combine it with Williams, but Rick just standing his ground, comes across, it's point blank right into it, but still he parries it away, so he doesn't go right back into traffic and gives away another opportunity.
That was the chance, you would think. Atlanta needing another opportunity to equalize. Miranchuk.
So long.
And Slish. And pressed off it there. Danish on shot. Still with fresh legs laid on and going pushing. Running here at Edwards. We got the positioning in. Dan running out of real estate. Don't keep giving. Toussaint wants to go quickly.
It's just the difference between a confident team and a team
It's 100 minutes and they let it
One last opportunity to put down a play. Throw it to Atlanta. Gotta get up with it. Needs an option. We'll go back here. And there is the full-time whistle. It's an 8th game without a win for Atlanta United as Philadelphia get another big away win. Besides second place in the Eastern Conference with a 5th win in 6. Ty Maribo converts the penalty. Atlanta 0, Philadelphia 1 at full time. This is the player of the match. Ty Maribo taking advantage of this penalty. Ua trying to strike towards an empty net. Abram with the handball offense. And Maribo would step up to take his 11th goal of the season. MLS leading 11th goal of the season from the spot. And that's the goal again.
Yeah, it's a lovely penalty kick. He just steps out calmly, comes in at halftime. But it really starts with them going back to their traditional formation. Wagner with time and space to get his head up to whip in a beautiful ball that forces Gazan off his line. And then eventually the handball from Abram. Is the way they set themselves up in the second half, kept it 0-0 in the first, and that'll be the difference. And this is a confident Philadelphia team that now can take away from this game to understand how to play a different formation, lean on that when necessary, but then always bring on reinforcements when necessary to get the job done.
And a big win for Philadelphia and confirmation. They're now top of the East. 29 points, Cincinnati and Columbus drawing, so this is the first place team in the Eastern Conference with a 4th away win from 6 on the road. And you can see Bradley Carnell celebrating with his team. They've come to Atlanta and worsen their woes. Atlanta 0, Philadelphia 1 at full time.
Boast by super hydration. The sweets of a honeymoon in Fiji. Moisturize with vitamin B3.
You better not be